Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning into the channel. This is Son of Liberty. So today we're going to be taking a closer look at some stipple work done by Zack over at Gadsden Gun Works. Now, if you guys have never seen this guy's work before, I promise you, you're in for a real treat. So stay tuned on the channel. You don't want to miss this one. Alright guys, so what I'd like to do first is kind of talk to you about this particular gun first before I bring into the camera the Glock 34 and the CZ. And the reason being is I kind of want to brag on the quality of Zack's work here real quick. So this particular gun is my go-to gun for all of my classes. I have ran this particular gun across multiple classes, across multiple states for multiple years, okay? And the same thing with this particular gun, which was my go-to, quote, class gun, if you will. Same thing with this one during its time. Zack actually also used to offer some artwork. A lot of people don't know that, but the artwork he does now is phenomenal. He absolutely kills it on the jobs that he does do, and I think it's by special request only for artwork. So, but anyway, even going back to the very first gun that Zack ever done for me, okay, the reason I bring this up is that as many years as I have been working with Zack, all the way back to when the company was known as Jarvis Tactical, I've never had a failure of any index or any stipple job, especially even in the high pressure areas such as the front grip of the gun, the rear tang of the gun, okay, the index points. These are where all your pressure is going to be applied at on the gun, okay? So you'll notice that there's no deviation, there's no flat spots there, there's no collapsing of the texture itself. And so that is a testament to the quality of work that you're going to be getting with Gadsden Gun Works, okay? So again, I felt like that was important to mention. So now on to the Glock 34. So guys, what we're looking at here is essentially a basic package with what we like to say in the South, all the fixins. So it's a basic package with a lot of different add-ons. So his basic package starts at $275 and goes up from there based on what you want to add, which is really cool because you guys get to build the gun that you want, okay? So for the first time, I'm getting to run the gas pedals, and as you guys are going to see here in some range footage coming up, the capabilities of these. Highly impressed with these gas pedals. On the back, you're going to notice that the beaver tail here is polished, which is a very nice option. If you are going to be getting a gun done that you're going to have high round capabilities or possibilities, such as taking classes, running it through competitions, actually I believe that this would be a really nice option for you. I think the web of your hand will thank you after a long day of shooting, okay? You also may be able to see a slight grip reduction. Obviously, the finger grooves have been removed. I got the full 360-degree texturing all the way down to the very bottom, and I sent my magwell in so he knew where to start and to stop. On the other side, around my magazine release, you can see the recession around there. Looks really clean. On top of the trigger guard here, you can see the recessed glove bevel. Man, he does such a great job on those, on the polishing of these. Just a really solid, really attention to detail. Everything just blends in together. There's no areas that are over polished or under polished. Just everything matches. And here on the bottom, the trigger guard is a special request Zack done for me. It is a single trigger undercut, but this is a particular package that he specifically doesn't offer. This is just something that he done for me. So anyway, again, this is a basic package with all the fixings, right? So there's some people out there that don't want this. They may not need this for what they're wanting to do. They just want something more economical. And so Zack decided to come out with an eco package. So with the eco package, basically what you're going to get a single trigger undercut. Now, this gun does not have a undercut. This is just how the gun's designed, but it does appear that it has a trigger undercut. So the basic eco package will have a single trigger undercut, index points, full 360-degree texture, but it won't have these deep 3D recessed borders like you see here and like you see there. You can see how the 3D lines there, if you will, are cut into the frame. All right. With the eco package, you're not going to get that. So obviously this takes a lot of time to go through that and to make those borders. So it's going to save him time, which is going to save you money. So the eco packages are basically an all-encompassing package. You basically get what options are pre-selected for that package. And it's going to be $230 shipped back to your house for free with a turnaround time of average of 2 weeks. So guys, that's really hard to beat. Most people can afford $230 to have their gun really upgraded. This is not something that that you're just doing really for aesthetic purposes. This is a lot of function over aesthetics, and that's where the eco package really focuses on. It's focusing on the functionality over the aesthetics of the gun, but it still looks good. You know, he's not going to compromise his lines. He's not going to compromise his stipple job because you're doing an eco package. You know, he's really got this down pat. So you're going to get the attention to detail there, guys. Don't second guess that. But anyway, guys, with everything else, we have to take it to the range and see how it's going to stand up in these less than ideal conditions. So let's tune into the range and see how these guns held up. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick break from shooting just to kind of go over some things with you guys in relation to how Zack's work feels on a gun, running the gun beforehand and after his work. So I've been out here since 2 o'clock today on duty. Right now it is almost 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, we have been, again, working together for a long time. One of the most recent projects that I had done for me is this Glock 34. Now, this is the first Glock 34 that I have ever owned. Now, I want to point out here the gas pedals. as well as you may be able to see a slight grip reduction there. You can also see the finger grooves have been removed. The gun feels really good in the hands. And I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've ever actually ran his gas pedals. I didn't know what I was gonna think about them, but I have to tell you, I do like them. So an ideal for me, this was a older generation Glock 34. So on those older Glocks, the material seems to be a little bit more slippery than the newer Gen 3s and obviously against the Gen 4s. So what I felt is that, especially as I started to heat up and get really hot, I had a hard time really kind of maintaining my grip on the gun. The biggest issue that I had was the index points. So the index points were very slippery as well. As I started to heat up, I would try to apply that inward pressure into the gun, and I was constantly slipping off of it, okay? So obviously, I've seen guys take sandpaper and just rough it up, and it really serves its purpose. However, I wanted Zack to actually work on my gun. So those were some of the issues I was having beforehand. After I've got the gun back, again, I've been running guns now since 2 o'clock. It's almost 9. It's been really hot and humid here in Tennessee. I have not had any grip issues. And you may be able to see as well, he's even polished this. It's not a mirror polish, but he has even polished that for the web of the hand, especially if you're going to be running a class. Sometimes if you go with your stipple job all the way up to the top, sometimes you can have some discomfort over 7, 8, 900, 1,000 rounds. But I wanted to try his polish here in the beaver tail. So anyway, really hot. I've probably shot now about 400 rounds today, and I've not had any slippage issues. I've been able to really drive the gun and keep the gun where I've wanted it to. Now, let me go over some of the things that I had that I struggled with on the CZ. A lot of people had issues with the over-aggressive texture for the CZ. I didn't really have that issue, but what I did end up having is that as I started to run the gun longer and longer, one of the issues that I had, these magazines tend to stick, okay? I'm actually about to send my CZ back to them, and I'm going to do an update, 2,500 round update review on this very soon. So anyway, back to the subject here. So one of the things that I would struggle with is, as I was on the gun, I would either run dry or I would have a malfunction. I like the ability to be able to maneuver the gun in my hand and not have the gun dictate where it's being held at, okay? So I like to spin and maneuver my hand into an area up into my workspace, especially if I've got to rip that magazine out and go for that next mag change, okay? Because the stipple from the factory was so aggressive, it really just wanted to hang on to my hand, okay? That may not be a bad thing for some people, but for me and the way that I like to manipulate the gun, right? It was for me. Another issue that I had, and I've actually got a full review of the CZ-P10 on my channel, so you guys can actually check that out. One of the things that I wanted them to do was match the aggressiveness of the index points here to match this, and they were just very, very subtle. So I wasn't really too excited about that. One of the things that Zack has done, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this or not. You're not going to be able to see this on camera, but one of the things that he has done is, obviously, he has stippled these index points, but what's happened and what you guys can't see on the camera is that the plastic here and the way that it is formed throughout his stipple work, it is actually raised a tad bit from the actual gun itself. So I actually can physically feel almost like a swollen area right there at the index point. So I'm really able to take that thumb and really dig into the actual the frame itself. I'm not sure if you can see some of the indentations there on my thumb. So anyway, it's made it more aggressive so I can really tighten down on the gun. And it doesn't take a whole lot. This gun is generally a very, very flat shooter anyway, but I really like what he done with the index point. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to point out just a few things here on how I felt the guns felt before and after. Hey guys, that is going to be a wrap here on the video today. I want to thank you for taking the time to come out here and check out the review. Guys, if you're new here, I would love to have you on board as a subscriber. So please consider hitting that like down below and hitting that subscribe button. To the right of that, there's going to be a little bell icon. When you hit that, that will actually turn on notifications. So every time that I upload a new video, you guys will get a notification in your email that a new video has been uploaded. And if there was anything that maybe I didn't perhaps cover here in the video in regards to Gadsden Gun Works, pricing, specifics, and so forth, please take a look at the video description down below. I'm going to post a link to his website, which will have a contact link, all of his social media outlet, including Facebook, as well as his Instagram account. So guys, consider giving him a follow as well. I know that he would greatly appreciate it. I'll also include a link directly to my Instagram page there, so that way you guys can stay in touch with what's going on the channel in between video reviews, as well as what I've got coming up, giveaways, and those types of things. So guys, I want to thank you again for all of your continued support, and until the next video, take care, be safe.